All right, so here we go. We are doing graphing. You guys should know this. What we're doing here is I wanted you to look at, first off, this is slope-intercept form. And note that these all are in slope-intercept form. This is standard form, and the first one is in standard form. Because I did want to review with you how to change it to slope-intercept form, because we did several days, probably 7 days on that. The M here stands for slope, which is rise over run, and we're going to talk about rise over run right on the first dot. And the B is our y-intercept. That means that's where it crosses the y or intersects the y. It crosses it. That's where our first dot's going to be, and then we're going to put our second and third dot using the slope. So for reference, when we have this 6x plus 5y equals 15, we want to get rid of the 6x and we want to get rid of the 5. So the first thing we're going to do, since it's plus 6x, we're going to subtract 6x from both sides, and you do need the x. Now we just bring down what's left over because our opposite operations cancel. We're left with the 5y equals, we cannot combine these because this is an x and this is not an x. So we need to put them first. And since slope-intercept form has the x first, you're going to put negative 6x and then you're going to put the 15. So with this 5 times y equals negative 6 times x plus 15. We need to get rid of the 5 then. So we divide everything by 5. The 5's cancel off because it's multiplication and division. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 1 times y is just y. We are going to leave this as a fraction, improper fraction, because we need the rise over the run and the x. We are going to do this part because we'd like a nice clean number in order to put a dot on the y-axis. 15 divided by 5 is 3. So we end up with this right here. So I'll rewrite that. Y equals negative 6 over 5x plus 3. We look at the y-intercept. That's the 3. So we go here, and here's our y-axis. It's written on your paper. That's the one that goes up and down, the y. And if you notice the y, how it's got that big straight line, that's this line. So whatever that is, that we go to that spot and we put a dot on it because that's the y-intercept. Now, don't get messed up with slope. It is the rise over the run, and on the first one, we're going to run right on the first one. So from our y-intercept, we are going to move down 6 spaces. Since it's a negative, we're going to go down 6 spaces and then 5 to the right. If this were just plus or a positive 6, we'd go up 6 spaces and run to the right on the first one. Either it's down and right or up and right. Our first dot is going to be to the right. So 6 spaces down. 1 space, 2 space, 3 space, 4 space, 5 space, 6 spaces. Not to the negative 6. We don't go down to the negative 6. We go down 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to run right on the first one, always right. 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces. We go back to our y-intercept and we do this in reverse. So instead of going down 6, we're going to go up 6 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, not to the 6. And then we're going to, since we're doing the opposite, we're going to go left this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Note that they're mirror images. Down, right, up, left. We did backwards completely. Take your straight edge. I don't care what straight edge you have. You can use the edge of a book, your ID, anything, a new pencil, and you're going to draw a straight line. If you want to get paper, you can get paper. All right, so we'll go ahead and move on to our second one. And that one is, looks like this, y equals x plus 3. X plus 3. What people get confused here is there is a slope because there's a 1 here. And then we put the 1 and we put it over 1. So we have 1 over 1. Okay? So it's 1 over 1. We put a 1 there. We know that there's an x, there's a 1 in there, especially when we distribute and there's no number, it's a 1. And then to get us our bottom number, we just put any number over 1. So if it were 3x, we would just put it over 1. Okay? Y-intercept is 3 plus 3, so we go to positive 3. Here's our y. We go to the 3 and we put our dots. The only time that we just go to the number. Now, the rest of this is 1 over 1. It's positive 1, so we're going to go up 1. It's 1 on the bottom, so our first one is always going to be to the right. Now we do it in reverse. We went up and right. We're going to go down and left. Now, slope is amazing because it just continues on, and I can continue to go 1 up, 1 right, 1 up, 1 right when I'm on this side. When I'm on the right side. Now, when I'm on the left side, I'm going to go down and left, down and left. And I can make more dots if I want to. I only require 3. You want to make sure that you go all the way through your graph because we will be shading later on. So you need to make sure that your lines go completely through your graph. And it's a line. No freehanding. If you freehand, not count, not taking it. So make sure that you put enough fingers on there, 3 fingers, to hold this straight. Okay, and put it in there. Now, positive slope. There's no negative here. As I read this way, you can see that your line is going up. It's positive. If you look at this, the answer sheets, which I don't know if I have one. If you look at the answer sheets like this, notice it's all in 2s. It's hard for you to be able to do this because I'll be looking at your dots. You're not going to cheat. At least it gives you kind of an idea of where this line is going, okay? All right, number 3. Put that upside down. Y equals negative 3x minus 1. So what are we going to do? We need that slope, rise over run, so we're going to put the 1 on it. We go to negative 1 on the y. That's our first dot because that's negative 1. We put it at negative 1. This is our y. It goes up and down. Looks like the y. See my y? The up and down. And it's written right there on your paper. Okay? Right there. It's hard to see here, but you can get it. So now rise over run is spaces. It says negative 3. So I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3 spaces. Not to negative 3. I'm going down 3 spaces. Now, my first one is always to the right, so I'm going to go right 1. I can continue with that. I can go 1, 2, 3, and 1 if I wanted to, but you're going to do the opposite of this. Since we're going the opposite side of the y-axis, so we're going to do opposite. It said down 3, so we're going to go up 3. 1, 2, 3 spaces. You count 1, 2, 3, and 1 to the left. All the way through, because one day we'll be shading these when we get to inequalities. Let's look at number 4. Number 4 has y equals 1, negative 1. By the way, let me rewrite that. Y equals negative 1 over 2. X, that's it. Note that the negative is in the center. That goes to the top. So if you rewrite it, you want to that's negative 1. Okay? Now, we're missing a y-intercept, but that's okay. If there's nothing there, it's not plus 1, it is plus 0. When we multiply things, it's a 1. When we add or subtract, it's a 0. Those are the identity properties. So where is 0? 0 is right dead in the center where the x-axis and the y-axis collide. Okay? So we go 0. That's that part. Now, negative 1, we're going to go down 1. And we're going to run 2. 1, 2. Now, make sure that it was negative 1. Make sure now you do the opposite. You go up 1 space and you run 2 spaces to the left. All the way through your graph. And note, it's a negative slope. So when I read this, as I'm reading this way, the line should be descending or going down, and it does. So I'm good. I can check my answer sheet for a good guesstimate whether you did it right or wrong. Remember, y-intercept is the first dot on the y-axis on the line. Then you're going to go down 1 space and right 2 spaces. Down 1, 1, 2. Then do it in reverse. You went down and right, you're going to go up and left. But make sure you go up 1 and left 2. Don't go up 2 and then left 1. That's not what it is. All right? All right, guys, if you have any questions, let me know. If you want to look at, there's another video on there about how to use Kami to graph this if you don't want to get graph paper. If you want graph paper, you need to email me, and I will set it at the attendance office, and somebody needs to come pick it up sometime during the school day. Then you can have graph paper. You can take a picture of it. If not, do it on Kami, save it, and submit it. Okay? Any questions, give me a call, or I'll be on at 1:50. Bye.